Hello everyone and welcome back to Dividend Investor, back today with another portfolio update. Before getting to the video, if you could please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm on the goal to get to 1,000 subscribers and get the investing in the world out to more people. If you could please smash a like on this video, get in the comments and comment, let me know what you think of the video, and help boost that YouTube algorithm and get the video out to more people. So now guys, if you can see, my portfolio currently stands at £3,671.40. I've had a rough couple of weeks with all the stuff that's been going on in the stock market, which I'm not going to mention because you all know what's been going on. So you can see my graph over the last 7 days. It's quite a rough one, volatile. Sorry. So last week it was the lowest it got was £3,900. Managed to claw back up a little bit early in the week, down again on the same day. I think we peaked at £3,820, and since then on Thursday it's just been going down ever since. So we'll get into the stocks now. And the first one is AbbVie up 5.72% in the last 7 days, so a nice little pullback from them. And I'm still up just under 20% on my investment as a whole with AbbVie. AbbVie, great company to own, obviously. Look at the growth in the last year. They've had the dips, but consistently they've been growing lots and lots over the year. I think the lowest it was at is around $62, and I managed to get in a couple of shares, I think, around that time. When they was obviously still very low, so that's why I'm quite up in AbbVie. Next one is Verizon, up 5.54% in the last week, and I have 8 shares, but I'm still down 4.81% on my whole investment. And next up we have is AT&T, who are up 5.57% in the last week, and I'm up 14% of my whole investment. So if you're still up in your investments, guys, after all this stock market volatility, it's a good sign. So it shows you the market is freaking out, but not quite as bad as what everyone's expecting. So then we have his Coca-Cola next, who are in the last week up 6%. And I own 7 shares, and I'm up 17% on my whole investment with Coke. There we go. Coke, great company to own, obviously. Another Warren Buffett special. I'll be doing a special video on Coke next week, guys. If you want to check that out, I'll probably early Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And we're going over the Coca-Cola stock, where it should be a good investment. So stay tuned for that one. Then next up we have is Colgate. Colgate, who are up 7.6% in the last 7 days, sorry. But I'm still down 4.74% as a whole with Colgate. Not too worried about Colgate either, up 10% in the last year. Quite volatile, but overall they are up. So if you can hear any noise in the background, guys, any birds or anything, I'm filming this outside currently as I'm trying to take advantage of the nice day. So please excuse any little noises you can hear in the background. Next up is Microsoft. Microsoft, who are up 2.63% in the last week. Definitely a company I want to be adding more into. Almost a 50% growth in the last year, with not too many little dips apart from this one we're currently in now. So Microsoft is definitely one for the long term. I'm up toward 13% with Microsoft. I just have 2 shares. Next up we have is Starbucks, who are currently down 2.86% in the last 7 days. I own the 4 shares at the moment, and I am down 18.25% on my investment as a whole. Another company who's had a good bit of growth this year, up 6%. It was higher than that at one point, managed to almost get to the $100 mark with the stock, but now back down some more, probably reasonable, 76. Next up is Johnson & Johnson, who managed to gain 5.6% growth in the last 7 days. I own 2 shares and I'm up just 2.5% on my investment. Obviously good company to have. Johnson & Johnson, Dividend King. I've been growing the company for years and paying dividends for all these years and growing the dividends also. So as a dividend investor, guys, Johnson & Johnson is probably one of the top ones on the list to own. Next up is Ford. Ford had a rough month, obviously. quite a volatile stock in general. I've gone down 23% this year, but down in 3.16% in the last week. I have 36 shares and down over 30% now with Ford. One I'm just trying to get my dollar cost average down with. The next one on the list is Shell, who are up 1.88% in the last week. I have 9 shares, but I'm still down 30% as a whole with Shell, just under 30%. Again, I don't think oil and gas are going anywhere anytime soon, guys, so I wouldn't worry too much. Obviously, just try and buy the dips with Shell. Obviously, they're at the lowest point in the last year, and they're still not as low as they have been. Back in 2016, they were £13. Managed to get up all the way to £26 in 2018, but now down at 16. So it's quite hard to predict with Shell. So I do think it will rise again, but it could also fall as well. Next up is a competitive Shell, BP, up 5.19% in the last 7 days. I have 31 shares of BP and I'm down just under 18%. Another one I've been ploughing some money into recently, trying to bring that dollar cost average down. Next up is Imperial Brands, who are up 6.64% in the last 7 days. I own 7 shares and I am currently down 16% with them as a whole. The cigarette companies, again, also very volatile. Probably not the most ethical stocks to own, but they're all really good dividend payers. I think Imperial Brands has a very high dividend. It's probably too high really to sustain. It's around about 11%, I think, but I haven't got too much money invested in it, so I'm not too worried if it does cut the dividend or anything like that. The next one is Pfizer. Pfizer up 6% in the last week, and I'm still down 6.33% on my whole investment with Pfizer. I have 4 shares currently. Pepsico is the next one on the list. I'm up 4%, just over 4% in the last week. I have just a 1 share Pepsico, obviously another dividend king, really good dividend paying stock. I am down 4.5% on my whole investment with Pepsi. Definitely a company I want to be adding more shares to in the near future. Walmart is the next one, who are up 7.65% in the last week. I have just a 1 share with them as well, and I'm down just over 3.5% with Walmart. Oriental Income is my next stock, investment trust, down 10% in the month, but managed to claw the way back up 5.16% in the last week. I have 30 shares of Oriental Income and I am down 13.52%. Another one that's quite a relatively cheap stock, so I can manage to dollar cost average when I can. Bought obviously quite a few shares last week, 7 shares, so obviously trying to bring that down, but I do think it will rise again after this dip. Next one, another tobacco company, BA Tobacco, British American Tobacco. Obviously another really good dividend paying stock. Up 6%, just under 6% in the last week. I have 2 shares and I'm up just over 5.5% on my investment as a whole with BA Tobacco. Another, obviously, the cigarette company's great dividend yielding stocks. Next up, HSBC. They've had a rough time recently. They're down 3.34% in the last 7 days, and I'm down on a total in my investment of 15.61%. Obviously, another one I'll probably just keep investing into, a really massive banking company in the UK. They're the lowest they've been all year, so I do think there is opportunity to buy. Still not as low as they was back in 2016, but they're now really not far off that now, to be fair. Next up is Lloyds. Lloyds, another one who had it rough recently with all the PPI saga going on. Had to pay out a lot of money for the missold PPI. They're down 17% in the last 30 days. In the last week, still continue to fall, another 6.37%. Again, I was applying money into them guys. Really cheap stock, and obviously I do think it is a good buying point at the moment. Quite low, but lowest it's been over the year, so really good buying opportunity. I bought 8 shares yesterday, so I now have 119 shares with the average cost of 57p, which is still high. I want to try and get out as low as I can, and I'm down 22% with my investment with Lloyds. Next up is Intel. Intel, bit of growth this week, up just over 2.5%, but I'm still up 15.62%. One I really wish I had more. I bought more shares in when I did purchase at the time back in August, £37. but excuse me, that's just how it is. Next is S&P 500 ETF, up 4.45% in the last week. I own just the one share and I'm up 0.63% with them. They'll continue to grow. The S&P 500 always does, has its little dips over the years, but continuously does grow, obviously usually higher than the dips do. So that's a good one to hold for long term. If you're looking for any ETFs, the S&P 500 is probably one of the best ones you could own. Then we have National Grid, who managed to stay up in the green for all this over the last month. All the obviously stuff that's been going on. Due a dividend soon from them also, up 7.26% in the last 7 days. I own 3 shares and I'm up 25.5%, which is good. Over the year they've had a nice 21% growth and overall 21%, so had the dips, but I do think they could be expecting a dip soon. I'll be ready to buy some more of them when it does. 2 more stocks to go, guys. Well done for staying if you stayed on this long. Next one is Wells Fargo, down 4.77% in the last 7 days. I own just the one share at the moment and I'm down 17% with them. Probably one I could be looking at getting more shares into. They're really low. Highest they've been is £54 back in November, but since then they've had quite a big decline. Then the last share I have is Taylor Wimpey, down 1.83% in the last 7 days, but down overall in the month. I have 14 shares, but I'm still up, and I'm a respectable 8.87%. So that's it for the portfolio, guys. So now I'm just going to take you into my activity tab and just go through with the dividends I've received this week. As you can see there, guys, the first one there, that I was a bit confused by that. I got a notification saying I've got a dividend, and I was like, oh, what's this for? And it was ConocoPhillips, and I was like, I don't even have them in my portfolio. But it turns out I got a message later on off Freetrade saying that they made a mistake and give me this dividend by accident. So that is not in I haven't received that. It's a mistake. So the dividends I have received is a 33p dividend from Wells Fargo, 21p dividend from Intel, and a £3.18 one from Ford. So even though Ford have been down, it's nice to receive that dividend. Obviously, I know it doesn't cover the fall that Fords have. The dividends that I've received will not cover that fall, but it still is nice just to reinvest it into some other stocks as well. Also, guys, I've been sort of looking into the basic account, what they have different stocks in there compared to the ISA, and I've been looking at some REITs. If I'll show you into the basic account, I've put some REITs into my watch list as what's this doing? There we go. I've put some REITs into my watch list as they're not available in the ISA at the moment. They're only on the basic account for tax reasons, I think, but Freetrade are working on bringing them to the ISA as well. So some of these REITs I'll be looking at adding into my portfolio if and when Freetrade make it available in the ISA. I've also got a free share waiting. I'm not too sure what that is yet, but I'll let you know when I do get it. Hopefully it's a Tesla. Nah, I don't think they give one that high anyway. But yeah, guys, that is it for today's video anyway. So if you could let me know what you think of my portfolio and anything else, let me know what you think of the video as a whole. If you like it, if you didn't like it, let me know. Just get in the comments and engage, guys. I really enjoy obviously engaging with you lot as well. So yeah, on that note, I'm going to leave it to it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, so enjoy your weekends, guys. Take care.